to the table that we have. All right, the HTML table. This is the table I'm making reference to. Let me just show you. So I make reference to this table. All right. So this is what I'm making reference to. You remember this table that we defined in our class.
Okay.
So that's what I'm just making reference to. So what I did was I made reference to it and I said, sorry, just 1 minute. So I make reference to it and I said, for every row in that table, so what I'm just, I just looked through the whole table. So I'm saying for every row in that table, all right, don't forget that that table is found in the body of the table. All right, sorry, in that table we have the body, right? Let me show you the body. So I will be explaining one by one so that we can get the concept. This is the table we are making reference to, all right? Inside this table, we have something called T-body that contains the rows. Does that make sense? All right. Okay. So I'm saying for in every row, for every row in this table, all right, in the body of the table, find A. All right. Why are we finding the tag A? And what does A represent? Who can remind us? The tag A.
It's a hyperlink.
Awesome. It's an hyperlink, right? So so let's see. Sorry. So we are finding A, and A is somewhere here. No. Sorry, don't let me waste. Let me just go there straight. All right, we can see A. So we know we're interested in the name of the countries, right? So we can see the country Nigeria for the first row is enclosed in the what? In the hyperlink tag, which is represented by A, right? So that is the reason why we are saying for every row in the table, all right, for every row in the table, find the hyperlink tag, all right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we're now saying after that, in that row, once you find anything that pertains to a test, all right, anything that pertains to a test, for every row that you find in that table and is found within the A tag, we want you to append that test inside this empty list. And that's how we say countries.append row.test. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So that when you now run this, all right, when you run this right away, what you will have is you will see, okay, before I run this, let me show you what you will have. I already do my slicing here, but let me just say I want to print countries. Let's see what we have here, countries. What do you see? You can see that it was able to pick all the content here. Though it might not pick it in the format you would like. You can see it will pick Nigeria, it will pick more, it will pick Ethiopia and pick more, it will pick Egypt and pick more. It will pick everything here. Everything here. And some of those information you don't need them, right? So you will be the one to find a way of cleaning it. You can see it's picking even A, it's picking B, it's picking Nigeria, it's picking more, it's picking Ethiopia, it's picking more, it's picking Egypt, it's picking more, it's picking DR Congo, is speaking more. These are information that you can see this more, you can see here. It's speaking everything. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so now the responsibility now lies on you. The responsibility lies on you to now know how to clean it, to make it in a format or shape that you want. All right. So now that we have this, so the first thing that comes to my mind is that I don't need all this A, B. Don't forget, this is just a list. This is a list. You can see that the result is in a list. So it's easy. So that's where your Python list comes from, working with Python list. I don't know how sound your Python is, but if it's a very simple thing. You can just look for how to work with Python list. It's very simple. All right. So what I did is that I'm not interested in anything that is different from the names of the country. All right. So what I did was I said, okay, no problem. Only give me information that start from Nigeria. So I use something called Python list comprehension. All right. I sliced from the point. So I omitted the first two list, value in the list, all right, which is A and B. So I'm saying start from what? Nigeria. And how did I know? Python start from 0. All right. So this will be 0. This will be 1. And this will be 2. So I'm saying start from 2. All right. To the very end of the list. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So that when I print this guy, when I run this guy, what I will now have is the end result. So you can see that it's no longer picking A and B. All right, you can see that it's no longer picking A and B. It's just picking what? Nigeria. It's starting from Nigeria now. So the problem is one step solved. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It makes sense, right? So now the next thing is that how do we are not interested in all this more. We are not interested in them. All right. What we are interested in is in the name of the countries. That's what we are interested in. So there are different approach that you can use to solve this. But since I know that Python pandas will be a very good a library that will help me to quickly do this, I didn't stress myself or write, because sometimes if you are just imagine if you are trying to write a Python function to help you to remove more, that might be a long function or a long for loop or whatever it is, whatever method you want to use to remove it. All right, that might be very stressful. So what I just did was I imported pandas. All right, I imported pandas and I passed this list as a data frame. All right. So do you understand what I'm trying to do here? So I passed this list as a data frame. All right. And I called them, in that data frame, I called the name of this list, the column name as country, and I equate it to what? To the list that we have up there. So when you run this, all right, what will you have? Let me show you what the end result looks like. So when you first run this, let's say df.head, and just check what the data frame looks like. You can see this is what you have now. You can see that you're now having a table format. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So now that having it in a table format is easier for me to work with. All right. It's more easier for me to work with. So I can now say, okay, so the best way for me, the easiest way for me to remove all these modules is, okay, anywhere you see, anywhere in this country, in this column that is not, and every value in this column that is not equal to more is what I'm interested in. Put those values and put them in the data frame. So I'm saying